this video, we're going to be using Stirling Deep Blue Sea, and we're going to compare the Edwin Jagger 316 with the Edwin Jagger DE89. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB, and if it's your first time here, welcome aboard. I hope you'll consider subscribing below. So, as mentioned before, today, we're going to be comparing the Edwin Jagger 316, and it gets the name 316 because it is made from 316 stainless steel primarily, and we're going to compare it with the old Edwin Jagger DE89, both loaded with Astra SP blades. We'll get to that in just a moment. The soap for today is Stirling Deep Blue Sea. Beautiful scent on this soap. It is inspired by Bleu de Chanel. Just a really beautiful scent. I'll show you how it's described there. If I had just read the description of that, I probably wouldn't have bought it because it might not have been appealing to me, but this is a beautiful scent, about 5.5, slightly over medium in fragrance. The cost is terrific, $13.60 for 5.8 ounces of soap. That comes to you on our chart, $2.34, exceptional. The Stirling value just cannot be beat relative to the quality of the soap. And the lather quality that you get from Stirling is exceptional. Let me roll in a shot there as I was making the lather. Just creamy, excellent. It's just great stuff. So, okay, the razors today, we'll split our face down the middle. We'll shave one side with the Edwin Jagger 316 and one with the DE89. And apologies if I've done this before. I couldn't actually remember, and I was talking to Marion and Ken Klitschko's the other day, and I said, oh yeah, I should compare the 316 to the DE89. And so the question that comes around a lot on these is the 316 just a stainless steel version of the DE89? No. Because if you look at them there and you look at the head designs, you can see different design there. Different materials. Again, this one 316 stainless. The handle, I believe, this blue part is aluminum. And this one is your Zamak or pop metal. So a cheaper, more inexpensive metal. Both good shavers. In my opinion. Oftentimes people come into the hobby and they try this or the Merkur 34C as their first razor, and it's a good mild shaver, but as you can see there, definitely not the same. This one obviously has a longer handle as well. As you put those two heads together, you'll see, not exactly the same, but the main thing is use. So let's get into the use. Using our Glen Helly mister today, slightly under 24 hours growth today is what we'll be working with. We will not be doing a pre-shave today just for the Chiefs' benefit. This is like, well, why do you use pre-shaves with those, high-value soaps? And I'm like, I don't need to. And we'll see today that certainly don't need to. I use them because I have them, but certainly don't need to. This stuff smells great. Stirling, exceptional value. By the way, Latherhawk has a interview with Stirling, with Rod, I think of Stirling coming up at some point, so check out Latherhawk. And if you haven't seen my interview with Rod and Mandy of Stirling, I'll link it below for you. Excellent interview, great people. They resist that temptation to reformulate and dig deeper into your pockets, so I really appreciate that. Because honestly, the most important thing to me is to enjoy my shaves. And if Stirling has a price point with the level of quality they produce that allows me to get two soaps to one, I'm going with Stirling. I'm never going to stop using Stirling. It's good stuff. And I would say for the majority of use cases, if you can't get a great shave with Stirling, it's likely to be your technique. I'm not going to say that matter-of-factly because last time I said that, somebody got upset. But what I mean is, in terms of the quality of the lather, the slickness, and so on, for most use cases, it is more than sufficient. It is more than sufficient. Very nice scent on this soap. Deep Blue Sea, which I got originally in a sample because I didn't know if I would like it or not. And Stirling has these big samples that are this big around for like $3.50. So you don't have to blind buy at Stirling. And I appreciate that because we do a lot of blind buying because companies don't want to make samples because it's time consuming. But Stirling, for our benefit, does offer samples, which is excellent, and the best samples in the business. Okay, we'll start on the right. DE89 with a fresh Astra SP blade. and that feels very nice. I just want to take a few. Okay, I can tell you right now, just from comparing those first few strokes, the 316 to me definitely feels a little more aggressive. Some people claim it's very aggressive. I don't think it's very aggressive. But you can definitely feel more, you can just feel that it's cutting with a little more efficiency, in my opinion. So we'll rinse that one off and just finish our pass with our EJ on this side. Again, a lot of people start out using Edwin Jagger. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you can use a mild shaver, it's a good shaver. It's been around a long time. And it gets the job done. Still gets the job done for me today. I prefer razors with a little more aggression, but I don't need razors with a little more aggression. So, as long as it's not on the extreme spectrum of mild, like for me, the Feather ASD2 is a little too mild. The handle, I'll tell you right now, the knurling, but those lines that are on the 316 makes it feel better in the hand. And the heft that the head gives with that 316 stainless makes it feel better in your hand. And sometimes that feeling adds to your shave experience. And certainly in my view, the 316 looks more attractive. Now this was sent to me, by the way, by Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I love it. I really have enjoyed the razor. I haven't used it a ton, but I really have enjoyed the shaves that it gives. I think it's a fine razor. So the cost on these, we didn't get into that. You'll get the Edwin Jagger. I'll link on Amazon below. Edwin Jagger, the regular version, comes in many different configurations and handle styles and knurlings. But generally speaking, the starting version is somewhere around $30. Sometimes you can get it cheaper. If you get the diamond knurling and all that, it can be a little more expensive, but generally speaking, somewhere around $30. The 316 is usually around from $100 to $120, somewhere in that realm. And it's, because it's made primarily of 316 stainless, which is why it's called the 316. Okay. Wow. This is good stuff. I don't care who you are. This is good stuff. So I was watching, yesterday I watched the Chief and Jack from the Virtual Groom Room, and I'm going to poke, comedy warning. I'm poking a little fun here. I'm being flip. I'm not being serious. I have noticed that oftentimes they'll do the same video, like the same subject material. So it's like, I'm not talking about one guy sort of opines on one thing and then the other guy responds to it, as I do with some YouTubers, but like they have the same subject. So like yesterday it was, are luxury items worth it? And they both did it. And then previously, there's been videos like, my life or what shape, and they come out at the same time. So I think they coordinate those videos, which is pretty funny. You got Aquaman and Robin there, and they're like, we're not getting, in the Superfriends, in the realm of the Superfriends, they're not as perhaps as out front. And so they're coordinating there to get, more prominent within the Superfriends. But then you got Kai Triska, and he's just like, I'm good. Like he just does his own thing. But I'll notice a lot of times they'll cover the same material on the same day, and they'll do the same things. For example, Jack has sort of stepped back and not making him as many videos. And then the other day I heard the Chief, I'm stepping back, I'm evaluating, I'm not, not making as many videos. They do the same things at the same time. And I get a chuckle out of that. I think it's great. But it's also funny, that it's like, I'm waiting on him to show up with the same outfit on, same shirt. Well, the Chief doesn't use a shirt. So maybe Jack will take off his shirt for some of the videos. But watch them. And I'm telling you, you'll have the videos of the same subject matter at the same time. Makes me wonder if they got like a spreadsheet, like on this day, we're going to do this video. You and me, bud. You and me, bros. And I'm just poking fun. This is lighthearted fun. I don't mean anything seriously by it. But they do the same thing, which I thought was... And they have very, very similar views, too. Which is also awesome. And you're going to have that when you have friends, you know, I think. But a lot of my friends and we disagree on a lot of stuff, you know. But we're still friends. So you don't really have to agree to be friends. But I got a chuckle out of that because I've noticed there's a trend. If one does something, the other. If Jack says, I'm slowing down on the soaps, then Corey says, I'm slowing down on the soaps. I just wonder who says it first. Is it like Jack's like, I'm slowing down on the soaps. And then Chief is like, no, bro, I'm slowing down on the soaps. And then Jack is like, I said it first. And then Corey's like, bro, I was first to slow down. And they're like, let's both slow down. It's good stuff. There's nothing like a good bromance. Nothing like a good bromance. And I've enjoyed some great bromances over the years in the community as well. But so Jack and Corey, if you're watching, it's lighthearted, good fun. I don't mean anything by it. And I appreciate that people are supportive of one another and they have fun together. And obviously they discuss, you know, how they're going to do certain things. The EJ is a more effective shaver. Sorry to shoehorn that in there, but you can just tell it's a little more efficient. For me, it feels about medium aggressive. We'll get back on the Superfriends maybe some other time, but most of you are expecting me to talk about the razor, and here I am having fun with the Superfriends. I do wonder about Kai is just like, I'm good, you know, cool. He's having his coffee, the rooster is crowing, he's just like, I'm doing my thing, man. And the other two are plotting to save the shaving world. I gotta find that Superfriends photo so I can put up for you. Anyway, as always, best wishes to both. I saw Jack talking about his move to Portland and how the trash company wouldn't accept anything larger than 36 inches. That would drive me insane. So I hope he fares better, you know, as time goes on. But I think Portland is known to be a rather quirky place. So welcome to Portland, I guess. Jack. Okay, finishing up here. And you know, the Chief could easily make fun of me by just buying 100 Stirling soaps and talking about Stirling all the time. So, you know, I'm an easy person to make fun of. I must say the shave is going well. And I'm going to check after the last pass and see if there's much difference. I suspect they're going to come in close. Like, what tends to happen is when you're comparing razors, you'll adjust. Like if one's more efficient than the other, you'll adjust your, wait for it, technique to make it come out the same. So I expect that's what's going to happen. But I don't think there's any question that the Edwin Jagger 316 it's a little more efficient. Wow, look at that. I'm telling you, folks, if you can't get a good lather out of Stirling, you're doing it wrong. I will say that matter of factly. Watch people like Tim Shaves. Look at that. Watch people like Tim Shaves and many others. If your problem is maybe your skin doesn't agree with the ingredients, I'm with you. You know, that can happen. But if you're saying you can't get slickness out of it, or you cannot lather it, or mechanically it can't work well for your shave, you're probably doing something wrong. Because if lathered properly, if hydrated, it's going to give you what you need for most use cases, not every use case. Because you could be allergic to lanolin, for example. I don't know if I put the ingredients even up, so let's show them right there. Some good ingredients in here like shea butter, coconut milk, lanolin, which I like. Stirling has kept it simple, and they've kept their prices affordable. And I appreciate that about them. They've resisted the temptation to consistently reformulate. And as you can see, and you see all the time on my channel, it works perfectly for me. So I can buy a $7 an ounce soap and I'm not going to get much more out of it. I mean mechanically, like razor gliding on the face. Now, I will say this. If there was a really expensive soap that had a great scent, I would totally buy it. But I won't buy it because it's supposed to be some Uber base. That to me I don't need it. You know, once you achieve a certain level of slickness, it's really hard. And you see how that's gliding on that residual? Very easily, smoothly. No problems at all. Nice shave. So far, really enjoyable. I've had some fun. Okay, Edwin Jagger. Yeah. Obviously, if I had to choose between the two, I would pick this one. Now, is it worth, you know, $90 or $100 more? You decide. It'll probably last longer because pot metal is known to get brittle. And I believe the heads of this are made of some sort of pot metal or zamic, and they've been known to snap if dropped or bumped. Whereas 316 stainless, you're probably not going to run into that issue. And so longevity with respect to that, you know, this razor will probably last a lot longer. It's also quite a bit more expensive, but it does look better and feel better. So, you know, consider that part of it. It's enjoyable to use things that you really like. I totally get when the Chief talks about that, things that just make you feel good. And holding this razor relative to this one feels better. It doesn't necessarily, it probably won't in every case provide for a better shaving experience mechanically. However, when you feel it, when you look at it, it might give you more enjoyment just because of the way it looks and feels. The craftsmanship a little better. And so you might get some additional value out of that. That totally makes sense to me. Good shavers though, regardless. And a lot of people, once they get into the hobby and they sort of advance, they push the EJ to the side and they're like, oh, that's a beginner's razor. It's not a beginner's razor. It's good for beginners, but folks of any skill can use it if they know how, as far as I'm concerned. So let's check the face here. As expected, it pretty much came out the same, and I attribute that to technique because this razor is a little more efficient. I'd call it medium aggressive. Some people call it very aggressive. I don't think so. I'd call it about medium. But in terms of the way the shave came out, it's pretty much even. So let me rinse. We'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, we're back with our Lancaster towel. And I guess this Lancaster towel would be considered maybe one of those luxury items because you don't really need an $18 towel, but it does wick away that moisture. For me, I enjoy that it wicks away the moisture and I don't have to rub like I would with a regular towel, but it's nice and I just enjoy it. And so kind of agree with the Chief. Sometimes luxury things make you feel better. You just get some appreciation from using them. Here we go, the Magic Made by Witches Fairs, which is good stuff. That was a really smooth, nice shave. A lot of people don't use the Edwin Jagger razors, again, once they progress, but I think, again, technique being the most important thing, I can get a great shave out of those razors still. And it came out pretty even, and I attribute that to, you don't do it on purpose, but you'll adjust. If you feel the razor cutting more, you'll continue to make strokes. That's why these comparisons are hard to make, but both razors, very nice. Obviously, I would pick the 316, and thank you, Jimmy, for this wonderful gift. He sent this a couple months ago. Appreciate it. But both, for me, remain in my den as keepers. The Deep Blue Sea totally hit the spot in every regard. Great stuff. And we shall finish off today with the Stirling Deep Blue Sea Splash, which is also very reasonably priced, as is everything at Stirling. If I can get the cap off there, I might have to use my towel to get a grip because my hands are slippery from the witch hazel. Anyway, they fill these all the way to the top. They're not putting them all the way down below the neck like some companies. So we're going to get our money's worth today. Today we're going to be smelling great. We're going to be enjoying ourselves. And once again, don't take my flip remarks about Chief and Jack seriously. I'm being flip. I'm poking at them. I'm sure they'll poke me back. I mean, they can make fun of me day and night for all the goofy things that I do. So just having fun, and we should try to have fun and enjoy our shaves and enjoy each other. Even when we disagree, let's enjoy it. Let's have fun with it. That's really what it's all about to me. So thanks to all of you for watching. I have been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.